What's up, CNA Geekers? It's your boy Glenn Malone coming to get another video. Listen, this is a super exciting time. We have one of our CNA at the Con interviews that we actually want to do. I know you haven't seen it in a while, but I have a special guest that's going to tell us all actually about Pensacon 2022. It's February 18th through the 20th. You definitely actually want to stay tuned for this show right now. We got a lot of different things we're going to cover. So stay locked, enjoy yourself, grab your popcorn, grab your blanket, whatever you actually need to do to enjoy the show. You definitely want to stay tuned for this show right now.
Complete nerve authority.
What's up? It's Glenn with one N because I'm the only one. I am here with a fantastic guest that I know that a lot of you probably don't know, but a lot of you do. But I at least want to give you guys a chance, opportunity to know what's going on. But without that, let me say this: is that Pensacon will be happening this weekend, February 18th through February 18th through the 20th. Excuse me, I was going to say 18th, 19th, 20th, but February 18th from the 18th through the 20th. And this person is going to break down all the stuff for us. So I'm not going to take the thought away from him. I'm going to let him introduce himself, and it will get into the questions. Cool? Let's do it.
Hey, I'm Juilo Diaz. I'm the Director of Marketing and Guest Services for Pensacon. So I'm part of the executive team that makes the show happen.
Man, Julio, listen, I want to tell you, man, I really appreciate you. You are a stellar person. Like what you guys do right now is absolutely amazing. I don't know. Pensacon's kind of like our revamp year, and so I wouldn't know what to do without you guys. So I just really want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, right?
Oh, thank you. We're glad to have you be part of the show, and we're glad to have everybody that's watching come out and have a great time all weekend. That's why we do it.
You know, I'm gonna tell you a very interesting story. You know, we have met multiple times, right? Mm-hmm. We have met. So you've met before I even started Complete Nerd Authority. You met when I actually volunteered. So the first time I met you is when I volunteered. I think that was like 2016. You actually wasn't in the position you were in now. I think you were doing some other things. You had a black shirt on. You were doing some other stuff like that. And I definitely remember that conversation. I don't necessarily know if you do, but mm-hmm. I remember that conversation. It's kind of crazy, right?
2016, I would have still been at the Pensacola News Journal. So I would have been a volunteer moderator. So that way, maybe where you saw me is on stage doing some interviews with some of the guests and that sort of thing. And I was doing, I was on your side of the fence. Basically, I was media. So I came on board. I've been around the con since the start. I've been friends with Mike Ensley, our CEO, since before the convention started. I remember him calling me up one day when I was still working at the News Journal and saying, "Hey, we're thinking about starting up a little show, maybe a one-day con, and I could invite I know a few horror guys that I could invite." It's like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. If you do it, we'll support it. And that became what Pensacon became, and here we are.
Yeah. So you're telling me Pensacon was a one-day convention the first time?
It never was a one-day convention. It started out with the intention of being a one-day convention and quickly grew into being a 3-day convention the first year.
I did not know that. That was actually interesting. So did they start 2 days first and then they went to 3?
No. Started out with 3 days. It just built and built. It was, the ambition was small, and then the ambition grew and grew. And so first year out the gate was three days with just the Pensacola Bay Center and the Pensacola Grand Hotel that year. And,
right.
It's grown and grown ever since.
RIP, right? RIP, the Pensacon Hotel, right?
We hope it'll come back eventually, but right now, yeah, it's still closed, unfortunately.
So tell me this, right? So what is Pensacon? Like most, I don't know if anybody, all the viewers out here doesn't necessarily know, but what is Pensacon? Like, I have to ask. Like, they call it, like you guys call it. Some people on the streets call it like the baby dragon con, right? So what is Pensacon?
Well, that's not unreasonable. We do hear that a lot, and we kind of like that and agree with that comparison. But we are an all inclusive fan convention. We're the biggest show on the Gulf Coast. We're 3 days where we bring together, people from really, all. It's not just sci-fi and fantasy and comics and the typical nerd stuff. Although we all, of course, have and love all of that, and we're all nerds ourselves. But
Right,
really throughout pop culture, we bring music guests, we bring guests that are known for being in comedies, we bring writers, we bring artists, we bring gaming people. So it's a big mix, and I always like to tell people that if you are a fan of some form of entertainment, we've probably got something for you somewhere in there. You may think people think, oh well, I'm not into science fiction. I don't want to cosplay. That's not
right.
all we're about. We're all inclusive, and that's something that's really important to us.
That's fantastic. So, like, how do you guys pick out what to bring to the community? Like, what is that? How does that look like? Because you guys said
Um,
that you just said that you're kind of multicultural, pop culture, right?
mhm.
So how do you guys actually kind of gear to the audience of what to bring in?
It's a mix. It's a mix of who's available or who we think is interesting that we might go out to. It really does, because we've been around for 9 years at this point, and we're lucky to have a very, very good reputation within the industry. We at this point get a lot of guests offered to us, and we kind of make decisions. Oh, that's somebody we haven't had before, somebody that'll be interesting, somebody we have had
Right,
before, their career's gotten bigger since then, and we'd like to have them back. Sometimes it's just we've made friends with people over the years, and we want to have our friends back every couple of years, that sort of thing. Michael Rooker's a great example this year. He's, of course, somebody who's a big star, and we're always glad to have him, but somebody that has been a friend of the convention. And we've had him before. We're looking forward to having him again. Lou Ferrigno falls into that category too. We've had him a couple of times, so we're looking forward to having him back. We get a lot of feedback from our guests, and they spread the word too. So that's part of it too. People, either
yeah,
through agents talking to agents or celebrities talking to celebrities, find out this is a good show. They treat people well, and they get a good crowd, and then they want to come be a part of that show too. So I mean, great example this year with Richard Dreyfuss, who's a huge guest, our first Academy Award winner that we've ever had. Uh,
hmm,
he's coming to the show because his agent was looking to get him into some different shows, and he talked to another agent who we have a very good relationship with, and he said, "Have you checked out Pensacon yet?" So here we are. We're going to have Richard Dreyfuss here in just a couple of days.
I'm really excited about that. By the way, I
Yeah,
think
me too.
he's going to do very well, right? Do very
Yeah,
well.
very well.
So you're speaking about the guests, right? Uh, so tell the fans a little bit about the guests that are coming.
Well, we have more than a
Nice.
hundred, actors, writers, artists, you name it. It really crosses the gamut. We have guests that are famous for stuff that they started doing in the 50s and 60s, up to people whose careers are just starting out. And like I said, I would say the big top of the poster. I mentioned Michael Rooker. I mentioned Richard Dreyfuss. I mentioned. I don't think I mentioned John Barrowman, who's coming back. We're glad to have him again, from Doctor Who and Arrow, and done lots of Torchwood, lots of great things.
John
George Takei.
John Barron. I don't mean to cut you off, but John Barron loves Pensacon. It's like he's
Oh
always
yes, he
there.
does. He does. He's been wanting to come back since the last time he was here, and we're very glad to have him this year. He is always a good time. And pro tip: John Barrowman and Michael Rooker's tables are going to be right across from each other, so we're already assuming that's going to be the rowdy zone. Uh,
Wait,
so
wait, hold on. You have the two. I've done a lot of conventions. Okay, I've done like we typically do like 20 a year. Okay,
mhm.
so if you haven't seen, this is for the fans out there, right? So if you haven't got a chance to see either Michael Worker or John Barron, they are the most electrifying. Except, okay, then not now you got JDF, right? I can't forget about him, right? And Christopher Sabbath, he's like people waiting his line, but it's not really that energetic. But those three individuals, like Michael Rooker, John Barrow, and JDF, are like the most electrifying people to have at any convention.
Well, we almost had all three this year. Unfortunately, JDF's filming, so he had to cancel his appearance. But we will have him back again in the future. We've had him before as well. But yeah, Michael Rooker and John Barrowman, their tables are going to be right across from each other. So I think that's going to be a party.
How you gonna be able to handle that? You got like 3 or 4 volunteers, like hanging out right there.
Well, we have many fine adult spirits sponsors. So,
Okay.
so if we need
Because
to, we can make a call.
listen, because he wants to stand out. Like they both get out there and hang out with you outside, and in the lanes. Like they don't just stand back. Even with what's going on right now, I believe they still kind of like entertaining and energetic and kind of really want to get out there. So that's
Yeah, we think
really
they're
cool.
going to have a lot of fun together. We do think they're going to have a lot of fun together. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out.
I wonder if they're going to compete who has the longest line.
I mean, it'll probably be pretty close. Again, we'll have the two of them. We'll have Richard Dreyfuss will have very long lines. Giancarlo Esposito from The Mandalorian and Breaking Bad, he will definitely have very long lines. We're really looking forward to having him. And then George Takei is coming. He's the last original series Star Trek cast member that's still living that we haven't had yet. So looking forward to having him, and we expect him to have very big lines as well. For the anime fans, Zach Aguilar from Demon Slayer, him to have very big lines too.
Your got one.
Dylan McDermott, and then we're getting a lot of buzz about the boy band guys. We've got Nick Carter from Backstreet Boys and Joey Fatone from NSYNC, and it's definitely bringing a different audience to the con that hasn't been to our show before. Nick in particular. There's a lot of
I believe you.
That grew up on Backstreet Boys that are looking forward to meeting Nick Carter.
And you guys have Ming coming back too.
Yep, Ming Chen will be back. We love Ming. He's I always say if you go to a show and you don't see Ming, did you really go to a show? Because he's everywhere.
Very true.
He's everywhere.
Very true.
I've personally just run into Ming. I just saw him a few weeks ago at the New Orleans show, and I saw him at Dragon. I've run into him a couple of times this year already.
So, let me ask you a question, right? You guys got Amy Jo Johnson, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know from the stories, it's been a very difficult thing to get. I mean, it's been very difficult getting her to come to convention.
She doesn't do a lot of shows. I mean, that's true. I don't know why, but she just doesn't do a lot of shows. So we are very excited to have her, and another one I think is going to draw really big crowds for us. I
know. I'm just trying to figure out how'd you guys pull that off?
Again, we have a good relationship with her agent. We made the deal.
Hey, that's pretty good. You guys actually did a heck of a job with that, by the way. So that's actually pretty neat. So all right. So we talked about the guests. Do you have a favorite guest that's showing up, or no?
I love everybody. Of course, I have my fandoms too. The one I think I'm personally most excited about, because I've just been asking for years, is PJ Souls. She's in Halloween, Rock and Roll High School, Stripes, Carrie. Just if nothing else, you got those 4 movies. Those are huge. All 4 of those are huge for me. So I'm very much looking forward to getting to meet her. I actually have a radio show here in Pensacola, and I had her on my show last week, and had a really good chat with her. So I know I'm going to enjoy finally getting to meet her in person and getting to spend a little time with her, because she's she's just great. If you've seen Rock and Roll High School, she's a lot like her personality of that character in that movie.
You have a radio show? Tell me about that.
I do. I have a weekly show on Saturdays on News Radio 92.3 and AM 1620 called Let's Go Pensacola, and it's all about what's going on in entertainment.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we normally talk about, we'll talk about things that are going on in the area, but we also talk about, like, we've been every week talking about Book of Boba Fett. Now that that's done, we're, obviously that'll be gone. We've been talking about Peacemaker every week. This week we had the Oscar nominations. We talked about that, but and then if we're doing something where there's a chance to bring a guest on, we do that. Like I said, I had PJ on last week before last. I had Rob Paul, another one of our guests, on week before that, who's of course Animaniacs, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Brain. So we got Yakko and Wacko from the Animaniacs show this year, because Jess Harnell's here too. And
That's pretty cool. That's actually really neat. So let me ask you, right? So how does Pensacola keep itself? Uh, how do you guys get bigger every year? Like, how does how? I know obviously last year wasn't the numbers that you typically have, right? Because it had a little adjustment in May and stuff like that, and then
We really weren't
obviously
down
going
too
through all
much,
the
though,
yuck.
believe it or not. We were down a little.
Really?
Yeah, we really weren't down too much. It was not really, like, of course it was a concern. We did have to postpone because of COVID, and it
Yeah.
was, our people are going to show up, but people showed up. We did pretty good. This year I know is going to be bigger. We're seeing the numbers already, so it's going to
So how do you
be.
guys get bigger every year? Like, how does that work? Like every year you guys almost doubled, 1x, 2x yourself every year. Like, how do you guys keep that momentum going? Like, how does
Uh,
that year over year?
Well, some of it is just we've been very blessed. We have good community support here in Pensacola, and we're very pleased to have that. Great support from the city and from the county, from the folks at the Pensacola Bay Center are great to work with us, and we've got a lot of great sponsors coming on to help out, both local and national at this point. We have
Right.
T-Mobile as a sponsor now. We've got Coca-Cola as one of our big sponsors. So all of that, every little bit like that helps, but it's really the fans. It's providing a good experience for everybody, so that people want to come back and they want to tell their friends about it. And that's true on the fan side as well as on the guest side. So
Oh, that's
that's what
awesome.
I really attribute it to. We try to do our best to give everybody a great experience, and take some of that Southern hospitality as part of that. We believe in
Hmm.
that. We want to represent Pensacola as best as we can to the world. That's part of why we do it. We want to bring people here to see Pensacola and see what the town is all about. And we get the results back from the surveys. A lot of people say they didn't know Pensacola, and now they do, and they want to come back even if they don't come back for Pensacon. So that's part of why
Wow.
we do it. That's important.
That is because you're bringing in revenue into the city,
Mhm.
and it's a really good thing. So let me ask you, right? So how, like, with everything, so how do you guys organize this thing so well, right? Because we're, if you ever been to Pensacon, like it is in multiple different places. You got the base center that is like huge. Like if you want to see what all the cosplay is about, go to the base center, hang out in the vendor room on Saturday. Like you'll see all everything, right? Then you have these, panels and other, panels and all that, and theaters, other places like that. Like, how do you guys keep it so organized?
We have it's a more than a year-round process. We are already started on Pensacon 2023, before
Wow.
2022 happens, and we have to be. That's the only way it works. We always, usually on Sunday, announce our dates for the next year and announce our first few guests for the next year. So we do have that planned again this year, to go ahead and start telling people, hey, this is who's coming. Get ready, mark your dates on your calendar. It is a year-round enterprise. We are constantly working. The executive team is constantly working on keeping up our relationships with our sponsors, keeping up our relationships with our agents, booking guests, making sure we're going to have access to the venues that we need, making sure we're going to have the hotels. Uh, we do a couple other things during the year as well, but it is really a year-round job for the executive staff,
That sounds like you guys. It's a full time gig from beginning to end.
and then some.
I got you. So, all right. So, tell me about. Um, there was something in the tip of my tongue, right? That's really awesome, by the way, how you guys keep it organized. I just want to lay that out.
Well,
But
thank you.
so, tell me for a first time goer, right? How do they experience? How should they experience? For those who've never been, how should they experience Pensacon this year?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing I would say is pace yourself. It's kind of like at this point going to Disney or Universal, something like that. You're probably not going to see it all in one day, and you probably shouldn't try to, because you're just going to wear yourself out unnecessarily.
Very
Uh,
true.
some of the tips I would give you are to bring cash, because there are vendors and a lot of the celebrities that are cash only for their transactions. There are plenty that accept cards, and I know we've had a little bit of confusion this year because the Pensacola Bay Center itself has gone cashless, but that doesn't affect
Mm,
the vendors and the artists and the actors within the show. That's specifically if you're doing a transaction with the Bay Center. So if you were going to one of their concession stands, or if you were going to their ticket booth to buy a ticket for, upcoming concert or hockey game or something like that, that's cashless. But if you want to go buy a commission from one of our great artists, or if you want to get an autograph, they're going to be more than happy to take cash from you. So yeah, I'd recommend bring cash. There will be ATMs on site, but just in case, come in with some cash in your pocket so that you can get the things that you want to get. We do operate a trolley system around downtown to get you to all of those venues that we talked about. So keep that in mind. You don't have to walk. Not that anything's more than about 5 or 6 blocks from anything else, but you don't have to walk that. You can hop on the trolley and ride around, and it gets to all the venues. It stops a couple other places as well. To get downtown to some of the restaurants downtown. There's a spot at the Fish House, which is a big one of ours. So that'll get you around. As long as you've got a pass or a wristband, that's free. Take advantage of it. You don't have to move your car. You don't have to worry about finding parking or anything like that. Because we do spread out really all over downtown Pensacola. And it is, in that regard, I think that's a part of where the Baby Dragon Con thing comes from. We kind of have that same situation. Dragon Con kind of spreads out over a good portion of downtown Atlanta. We pretty much take over downtown Pensacola.
That's pretty good. Are they going to have the festival this year down there too? Typically, a lot of times they have like
yes. Gallery night is back this year. They were off for COVID last year, but Friday night is gallery night in downtown Pensacola. So they do close the main thoroughfare on Palafox Place. It's open to foot traffic. They have open containers available, so you can have a drink while you're walking around. And we are actually programming their main stage this year. So we've got some really good entertainment on that stage. Really excited to have Vision Video performing. They are a band from Atlanta. If you're a TikToker and you know Goth Dad on TikTok, Goth Dad is actually the lead singer of Vision Video, and the guitarist is Tom Ashton, who was in a band called the March Violets in the 80s. Is one of the seminal bands of the goth movement, and he also did a little bit of time in the Sisters of Mercy and Clan of Zymox. So that's going to be a really good show. So they're performing. We also have a local band, Tyler Livingston and the Absolutes, performing on that stage. Our friends Noise Complaint, which is a nerdy dance troupe, they're going to perform on that stage as well. And we've got belly dancers coming on between acts to keep things going, and then Hob the Troll entertaining around as well. So gallery night's going to be great. It's officially PensaCon Gallery Night this year, and of course we've got many other bar and restaurant partners up and down the downtown area that are going to be partnered too. So that's always a lot of fun. That's definitely something. Allow yourself some time Friday night to check that out. I'd also say allow yourself some time Saturday night. Make sure you get to the Zarzar Law Adult Costume Contest. That's going to be at the DeLuna event space at 7:00. And
the adult cosplay contest. So what about? So wait, hold on. You normally have a cosplay. So can we back up? Let's kind of go back here a little bit.
Yeah.
You normally have a cosplay contest in the Rex Theater, right?
We've never done it at the Rex. It's moved around a little bit. We did it at the Sanger Theater for a number of years, and then it was at
Singer Theater.
And then it was at Museum Plaza, and now this will be our second year doing it at DeLuna event space. It's great atmosphere, and that's the Saturday night costume is for grown-ups. We do have a costume contest Sunday afternoon for the kids too, but I'm talking specifically right now about the Saturday one, sponsored by Zarzar Law. And that's always one of the most attended events of the con. You usually see the best cosplay of the convention at that event. Immediately following that is our after party, and it's going to be a big party this year. It's a 90s theme party that is going it's going to be emceed by Joey Fatone, and we will have a live performance from another one of our guests, Grammy Award-winning rapper Young MC. So we're looking forward to that. He's going to be doing a few songs, including, I'm sure, Bust a Move. And so we're looking forward to that. Rockstar DJ Trey will be spinning 90s music the rest of the night. It's going to be a real good time. We did an 80s party last year, and it was a blast. And we expect this year that party to be even bigger. So make yourself some time to come to that Saturday night. If you have either a weekend pass, VIP pass, or even just a Saturday only pass, you get into the party.
Man, I need to make sure I get my Zach Morris phone on.
For sure. That's a great idea.
Listen.
Yeah, we're going to
So
encourage
let
people
me
to come in 90s costume. So yeah, that's a great idea.
absolutely. So let me ask you, right? So what about the app? Are we still using the app? Are you still encourage people to get onto the app?
We definitely are. The app is updated, and as anything changes, we do update the app. So that is definitely a great way to schedule out your weekend, to keep abreast of what's going on, and just to if you can't find somebody where they are, that kind of stuff's in the app too. You can get it on either in the iTunes store or the Google Play store. It's available for both Apple and Android. And like I said, it's a huge resource.
Awesome. Now, I will say this though: if you haven't known, if you never, if you haven't ever been before, take your raincoat or get you a little small umbrella. It's gonna rain. It always rains.
It's
At least
looking
drizzle.
good right now. Right now, it looks like the rain's going to be Thursday. So there may be, if you
Okay.
come down and get your pass pickup early, yeah, you may see some rain there. And if you go to Drink and Draw, which I definitely recommend you do on Thursday night at Perfect Plane, because that's a great pre-con event. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but we do this every year. A bunch of the artists that come to as guests to the convention go to Perfect Plane, and they do exactly what it says. They drink and they draw, and you can you can buy them a
Oh,
drink, and
really?
yeah, you can buy them a drink and make suggestions to them to what to draw, and they will. There's some they do some kind of games where they take suggestions from the audience and things like that, and then the drawings get auctioned for charity, and it's a lot of fun.
That's
So
pretty cool.
that'll be happening 7 o'clock Thursday night. So it's a good if you come in that night and get your passes and look for something to do. That's a good bet. But
All
right
right.
now it looks like the rain is, according to what the weather report is saying right now, rain's going to be on Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday are looking clear right now and looking pretty nice too, actually. So
Cool.
hope that holds out.
I do too, because I know every time I get there, it just drizzles. It might drizzle in the morning before the day starts, and it just,
Mhm.
you don't see it ever again. So I don't know. It's supposed to be cold or no?
At the 60s in the daytime and then in 40s at night. So might be a
So
little
bringing
chilly.
something warm.
Gallery night might be a little chilly for the party Saturday night. So, but luckily we do sell Pensacon hoodies, so you can get if you don't have a jacket, you can pick one up for yourself.
How much are they? 35, 55?
I don't know what the price the price at this point, but they'll be at the merch booth. You can check it out. We'll have a bunch of great merch
Gotcha.
this year. We got the graphic you've got behind you will definitely be on a shirt. That's our official Poseidon for the year from Pat Broderick, one of our great artists. And we always have 3 or 4 different shirts and hoodies and towels and blankets and all kinds of cool stuff that you can pick up.
That's right. Go get you a hoodie, right?
For
So we
sure.
talked about the cosplay contest, right? So we talked about first goers. So if you are a person coming in with your kid, what do you have for the kids? Do you have anything? I know some cons have like kid things and stuff like that. What do you have for the kids?
Well, we do have a kids costume contest on Sunday. That's also sponsored by Zarzar Law, and that'll
Okay.
happen in Poseidon's Bay, which is presented by T-Mobile. That's the area out in front of the Pensacola Bay Center. Everybody goes through there on their way in, so you'll know where it is once you come to the con. But we have a stage there with entertainment going on throughout the weekend, and that's part of our entertainment on Sunday is that kids costume contest. There's also going to
Okay.
be other activities for kids that are in that area. I know we have face painting from Remarkable Arts happening going on. We're going to have inflatables from Joy Inflatables, some other activities for kids to do. Of course, we always have tons of panels, and a lot of the panels are interesting for kids. We do have stuff with our artists sometimes teaching them how to draw. And of course,
Yeah.
the voice actors are always popular too. So, who doesn't want to meet one of their favorite Ninja Turtles or, Beast Boy from the Teen Titans or things like that?
Yeah.
Well, all of those folks are for kids to meet.
Or Young Justice type thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm a big Young Justice fan. So
Yeah, I can't wait to the other half of the season where we hopefully get Superboy back.
well,
Spoiler for anybody that
we've got Young Justice's Superboy here this year, Nolan North. So
you do. You
yeah.
do. And so, all right, cool. So let me ask you, right? So one thing we did forget, we got to talk about the vendors, right? We talked about
Mhm.
them getting money. So what kind of vendors does people expect to have when it comes to Pensacon?
We pride ourselves on trying to have a diverse vendor floor. So there's, all kinds of things here that I think, you won't find anywhere else. Yeah, you're going to find Funko Pops and you're going to find comics and you're going to find things like that. But we also get a lot of creative vendors that do everything from, swords to leather work to jewelry. And then of course, we've got tons of artists that do original art. There's all kinds of crafts and things like that. It's a really good mix of stuff. So, like I said, be prepared to spend a little money down on the floor too. I think you're definitely going to find something you want down there somewhere. I'll tell you for sure. And I'm blanking on the name of the vendor right now, but I know there's a guy coming that does these really cool metalwork pieces.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, ranging from, just little ones that start at like $5-10 up to, big pieces that get up to a couple $100. But just really cool stuff, all kinds of pop culture, characters and symbols and things like that. And I actually bought a bunch from him for Christmas gifts this past year, and everybody that got it, it's that's one you're going to want to check out for sure.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. So let me ask you, right? So is the because as I understand it, the floor, right, the vendor floor, the base center. Are we gonna set up photo ops over there too? Are you still
Yes.
have like
Mhm.
for those comic fans out there? Are we still authenticating the comics and making sure that they're taken care of, something like that? Like, how is that working for on the floor this
Uh,
year? Do you know?
we've got the photo ops are still on the floor. They're from Epic Photo Ops is our photo ops vendor, and they are still there. We don't have, I don't believe we've got like a CGC type service this year, unfortunately, but we do have JSA that
Okay,
authenticates autographs, and they'll be up in the celebrity area. So you can get your autographs authenticated, but we don't have anybody to do like grading or anything like that. Uh,
gotcha. No
you're
worries.
the
I know
slabbing that,
some years you do, some years you don't.
yeah. Um, and again, so that that's beyond the vendor floor. Then Artist Alley is around the concourse up on the second floor. That's where all of our guest artists and authors and that sort of thing will be.
Gotcha. So what is one of the biggest difference between this year, I mean last year and this year for going to Pensacon? Like what if somebody said, hey, Pensacon is gonna be the same thing it was last year, but what's that big difference this year?
Well, I mean, it's never the same show twice because first of all, we have different guests every year, so that
That's
always changes
true.
the experience for sure. It is a bigger show this year. We have more people this year, and we have more big names this year. So I think that's going to be the big vibe. That, and like I said, I do think we're getting an interesting influx of new people with Nick Carter and Joey Fatone that are maybe not necessarily the crowd you may be used to seeing at a convention. So I think that's going to bring an interesting mix into the crowd and getting to meet people and that sort of thing. 'Cause that's a big part of conventions too, is making new friends and meeting new people. So
Hmm.
I think that's going to be interesting too.
So I guess one of these days you're gonna have it where you're gonna have the whole In Sync or the whole Backstreet Boys type thing, right?
Well, I mean, I think the chances of getting the whole in sync are about the same chances of getting the whole in sync back together everywhere. I
That's true.
think Mr. Timberlake
That
doesn't
now
need
now
to.
now Backstreet Boys, it might be easy for you.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we got Nick Carter this year. He's pretty much the lead guy. So,
Yeah, that's very
uh,
true.
yeah.
Very true.
So maybe.
Very true. Maybe we have to wait and see, right?
Yeah.
So, uh, I think I covered everything. Did I miss out on anything?
I'm not thinking of too much. We talked about Poseidon's Bay. We talked about the panels. We talked about the party. Um, if you're flying in, you're going to get to see the intergalactic airport. We are uh, the only airport that changes over to an intergalactic airport for the convention. They rethemed the whole airport where the gates
That's
become
pretty
small
neat.
gates, and yeah, all the signage, and there's we work with a lot of great cosplayers here in town to help the airport get their creatives for that. We did a big photo session with them a couple months ago. So if you've been through before, you're going to see a lot of new stuff in the airport this year because they've added a lot of new decor this year. I don't think I've even actually seen it all yet. So yeah, that's definitely something cool to check out.
That's pretty awesome, Julio. You can hear me pretty good? Yeah, I want to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just my thing going out. So Julio, so listen, uh, what you mentioned something I think we did actually talk. We talked about panels, right?
Mhm.
So how does panels look this year? I know we have our fan panels. They're in it's a different building now. So
Yeah.
I can't necessarily remember on top of my dome where the building is. I know I've read it a couple times, but it's like you get so used to being in the Grand Hotel.
Yeah.
That's where you want to stay, people, right? Where is going to be the guest panels? I know obviously they can do in the apps, but where are the locations that the guest panels stuff like that is going to be
Sure.
this year?
The guest panels are going to be at a number of places. The Pensacola Cultural Center, which is formerly known as Pensacola Little Theater, so people are familiar with that venue already. Just got a different name now.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, yeah, all right,
so we'll have the main stage theater there. Usually we have some of our bigger panels there. I think we have a lot of writing panels going on in the courtroom there, and then we also have the film festival has moved over there this year too. So that'll be taking
okay,
place upstairs in the rehearsal space is where we're doing the film festival this year. We'll also have celebrity panels at the Rex Theater and at the Pensacola Museum of Commerce and at the Deluna event space. So spreading
okay,
those out, and then we'll have a lot of the what we think of as the community panels, which would be like the fan panels and workshops and things like that, and also some smaller panels at the J. Earl Bowden Building and the Voices of Pensacola Multicultural Center. And that's all of that is kind of pretty centrally located. So if you think of the Little Theater or the Cultural Center, those two are right across from that. They're basically right. There's a plaza there called Museum
okay,
Plaza. They're right across the plaza from each other.
cool. All right. Well, that sounds like everybody get a chance to go. If you haven't got a chance to go check out the panels, even if you want to come see ours, the organizations, we have a couple of them. I think we have like 5 this year, so you definitely want to come by and check that out. You definitely want to actually go download the app, go see all the guests. Who I think we actually covered everything. Now, you have anything you want to add out there to the fans out here that's watching the show on Pensacon itself?
No, I just hope that everybody comes out and has a great time. Like I said, we work year round for this, and we look forward to seeing everybody smiling at the show this weekend and having a great time. And hope to see everybody back next year for our 10th anniversary too.
That is. Oh, by the way, what time are you gonna make the announcement this year on what's going on for the 10th anniversary?
I don't think we've set an exact time yet, but it's usually 2 o'clock ish. So somewhere in there,
Okay.
2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. You won't be able to miss it. We'll do it in the main arena, and we'll have our announcer over the loudspeakers. And if you didn't come last year, that's one thing that you may not have seen if you didn't come last year is the Bay Center has had a lot of upgrades, not just for us, but for everything over there. They have been lucky enough to attract the Sun Belt Conference basketball tournament, which is one of the feeder tournaments for March Madness. And
Mm-hmm.
so there's been a lot of money put in because of that. The Wi-Fi in the building has been drastically improved. I know that's been a problem for a lot of people in the past. So you should be able to, if you need to get on your phone or whatever, you should have good connection. But there's
That's
also
pretty good.
great new scoreboards and electronic graphics all over the arena, and we will make good use of those. And when we make the announcement, it'll be up on those as well.
You guys have the same announcer too, the guy who loves Batman,
We
who
do,
loves
yes,
Batman and
sir.
stuff.
Special Ed, we love Ed.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
is
Special Ed is a great guy.
yeah.
That's it. You can't have the Bay Center without him, right?
He is very much the voice of Pensacon. In fact, if you saw
That's
our commercials
fantastic.
this year, we used him for the voiceover on the commercials too.
Is that the one on the TV or the one on YouTube as well?
TV, YouTube, you name it.
Gotcha. I need to check it out. No, I haven't seen it yet. I'm definitely gonna check that out today. But yeah, Julio, I appreciate you. Actually, I think we covered everything. I really appreciate you giving us the opportunity to actually interview you. Uh, Thank you so much, and I appreciate everything Piscicon actually has done for Complete Their Authority just in the past 6 years. One of the biggest things that I don't know if you know, but I always like to tell people is that just 2 years ago, things were getting a little, I don't necessarily say tough, but like things were just kind of changing a little bit. But then when you get that one thing from somebody who says there was a mom who has an autistic kid, and she says the only reason why they come to the convention is to come to our panels because her son loves it. you can't, you know what I mean? Like you just can't stop it because
That's
of
awesome.
just something like that. Like,
Yeah.
that touched my heart completely. Like he gets excited about coming to see our panels, and I'm like, man, I got to keep it going. So like, I just want
That's
to tell
what
you
it's all
thank you,
about.
and exactly, I appreciate it so much. How can they
No
find?
worries. Thank you.
Where can they go to buy the
On the
tickets? How much
show.
are tickets now? Still?
Tickets are weekend passes are $85 on pensacon.com. You can get single day passes, $35 for Friday. Wait a minute, I'm getting it wrong. $40 for Friday, 45 for Saturday, 35 for Sunday. Uh,
Spend your
better
$85.
value to get the weekend pass if you're available to come the whole weekend, and you do still get a little bit of a break because it does go up at the door. So
That's true. I need to get me one of them sweaters. I get me one of the Pizza sweaters. I don't have one, so I need to get one
yeah,
this year.
you gotta get one this year. They're going to be good.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys go and check it out. If you haven't got a chance to, go to pensacon.com. Make sure you actually go get your tickets if you haven't got a chance to. And comment below. Let us know what you think about it. If you get a chance to go. If you have any other questions, I'll revert them back to Julio if you actually need anything. But Julio, you need anything else from me?
No, we're good. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
No problem, man. No problem. I hope you had fun. Actually, I try to make interviews as fun as possible. So I'm hoping you had a blast. I hope so. I don't know.
Very much.
All right, cool. Catch you later. Thank you so much. And I'll catch you guys on next one. Glenn with one in because I'm the other one. Two fingers.
Complete nerve authority.